of terror has begun on the road to Unforgiven. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. It is the 2nd of September 2002 edition of Monday Night Raw. Many people probably wondered how did Triple H begin this era, and I bet you most people didn't think that Bischoff literally just whipped the belt out of a briefcase and handed it. But guess what? You're wrong, because that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Triple H didn't earn it. Triple H didn't beat anybody. No pedigree, no sledgehammer. He literally stood in the ring. Bischoff opened up a briefcase and was like, here's this big shiny gold belt. Go and bury everybody on the roster. That was kind of the story of how Triple H won the first World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep, and for me, I've never agreed with this. I've never looked back in this moment with great fondness. I think it's a bit of a joke, to be honest. I think you could have done so many other things. Like a tournament, for example. I know SmackDown just did a number one contender series match, which is a bit of a mess. But for me, to literally just give a guy that crippled Michaels, now I get it, unsanctioned, he's the heel, Bischoff has heel tendencies, right? But Bischoff's been very fair. I don't understand why Bischoff would do this. Surely a tournament would be best for business and best for ratings. Why would he just give Triple H the belt?
Plus, he fucking lost the match against Shawn Michaels. I know it was unsanctioned and technically didn't happen, but it did happen and he lost. Why is a guy that lost at SummerSlam getting the belt?
Yeah, and just to hand it over, this is, you know what, Bischoff's done a lot of, I know this is not really Bischoff, it's the story, right, but this is the problem I've got with Bischoff's run so far, this moment right here. I just don't understand this in the slightest. Raw's not filled, right, with star power, right, it's looking a bit weak. Taker's left. Other people are there, you get mid-carders like Ric Flair and Jericho and Van Damme, none of them just feel on Triple H's level. I get that. But for fuck's sake, man, can it not be a tournament for it? You get Kane back. I mean, I know Michaels is injured. I know the long-term booking is going to be Michaels coming back, obviously, Elimination Chamber, yada, 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 right? Bubba Ray has a wee segment here with Triple H. I just feel like there's so much potential, and they've just fucking... Like, I mean, a lot of people bury Evolution. They bury Triple H during this time period for me. And I can understand why this bit gets buried. But, to be honest, I've never actually heard people bury it.
What has this got to do with Evolution? It's not even started yet. He's not even teamed up with... He's not even aligned himself with Flair yet.
Yeah, but to me, I have no problem with loads of people have a problem with Evolution, but no one wants to talk about this. I've never heard anyone bury this.
Well, it's 10 minutes, like, you know what I mean? Evolution lasted 2 years. This lasted 10 minutes, so...
A lot of shit can happen in wrestling in 10 minutes, I'll let you know. But anyway, he gives Triple H the belt. Triple H, looking like his part in Blade Trinity, he gets on top of the ropes with his black t-shirt and he almost looked like he had vampire teeth and he lifts the belt up. And what do you make of this? Because it doesn't matter what you make of this, because out comes the Nature Boy. Ric Flair, who, you know, apart from beating Chris Jericho, has literally done nothing in the past 4 months. I mean, he's actually got, like, more losses to Vince McMahon than fucking wins. How mental is that?
Nah, it's mad.
I mean, he lost, like, I believe he did lose at the Rumble, didn't he?
Flair?
Aye. He lost at the Rumble, then he lost the other match against McMahon a couple of months ago for ownership of the company. And what we're led to believe that this guy...
also lost against Austin, teaming up with Big Show.
I mean, that's fair. I can accept a loss to Austin, right? But King points out in commentary that Ric Flair has actually lost the belt 15 times as well. And you know what? It's like...
Alright, well, can we go back to the start of the segment? Can we, and not just gloss over the fact that Brock Lesnar is now exclusive, and this is the whole reason he's brought the belt out?
Let's talk about it then.
Right, so Bischoff gives us the news that Undertaker is now Stephanie McMahon's number one contender because Brock is exclusive to SmackDown. Bischoff ain't happy though. He says Undertaker's not the number one contender. He says we all know who the true number one contender is. And that is true because we seen last week that Triple H beat The Undertaker in a number one contenders match. So therefore can Triple H be the number one contender? So Bischoff's like, we all know who the real number one contender is, and here he is. So Triple H comes out. Bischoff's like, you're the man, not Undertaker. You're the guy that's number one contender. Then Eric is basically kissing up to Triple H, or maybe just showing him a bit of respect. Either way, kissing his ass or showing him some respect, saying if he had him in Nitro, then he would have won the Monday Night Wrestling Wars. And Bischoff has mentioned this a few times since being the GM of Raw. He's making it clear that if there was a couple of different changes, if he could have added maybe one or two people to WCW, that he would have won the war. And you know what? He's probably right. I'm not saying Triple H would have won WCW, the Monday Night Wars, but I mean, if you take away Austin from WWF, and if you add The Rock, I mean, Bischoff says if he had The Rock, he would have won. And I mean, that's hard to dispute. As much as Austin helped WWF, would Austin alone been able to, especially if WCW had The Rock as their main guy? Just imagine all the feuds The Rock could have had in WCW. So, I mean, yeah, it's all if, buts, and maybes, but I think Eric Bischoff does make a few good points. He then says that we can't have a Raw without a world champion, and since Brock Lesnar doesn't want to be on Raw anymore, and Triple H never got the chance to be on WCW, he's going to give Triple H something that belonged to WCW, and that is the World Heavyweight Championship belt. And it's at this point Eric Bischoff gives Triple H the championship, and like you said, Triple H paraded around the ring with it, and Triple H acts like he earned this. I just don't understand why Bischoff is giving Triple H the belt. Like I said, he didn't win at SummerSlam. He took out Shawn Michaels. That wasn't a noble thing. If anything, Triple H should probably be getting punished tonight, so I don't understand it. I can understand why Triple H is pissed that he's the number one contender and that now he's no longer got a world title to compete for. But it doesn't make sense to me why Bischoff's given him the title. I think there was a few weeks they could have done a tournament that lasted a few weeks. You could have had Triple H come out and complain about the fact that there's no world title on Raw now, and Bischoff, I think, could have maybe dealt with those complaints and then the week after introduced a new belt. I just don't think the very first thing after Brock leaves Raw is to Bischoff the very next week, come out with the belt and give it to Triple H. I think Triple H could have complained to Bischoff, maybe threatened Bischoff, says, how the hell can I be the number one contender when there's no world title to be number one contender too? Just didn't make a lot of sense to me. Then Ric Flair comes out. Ric Flair says that he won them 16 times, woo, but he didn't get them handed to him. But like King says, that means Ric Flair also lost it 16 times, and Ric Flair can't believe that Triple H is just going to be awarded the title. These big gold belts shouldn't be awarded according to Ric Flair. And then this pretty much leads to Bischoff announcing a match between, says, okay, you want to make history tonight, let's do it. Triple H, you're going to defend your World Heavyweight Championship against Ric Flair. Triple H says it would be an honour to wrestle Flair in the main event. Ric Flair says that he's the luckiest man to be Raw's World Heavyweight Championship first contender. Ric Flair then reaches out his hand to Triple H, but Triple H decides to shake Eric Bischoff's hand instead, and then smashes Ric Flair over the head with a microphone. So, I mean, that was the opening segment. I don't know why they just didn't make it Ric Flair versus Triple H for the title. I mean, why hand Triple H the belt? I mean, surely you could have had Bischoff maybe Triple H arguing his point about how he should be champion, and then Ric Flair could come out and say, if anyone should be champion, it should be me, since I've been champ 16 times. And then Bischoff could have been like, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have the guy with the most title reigns versus the number one contender, and the winner of that will be the World Heavyweight Champion. I think that makes more sense than what they done. But here, that's just me.
It does make more sense. And also, I think the fact, if you have that, there's more chance of Flair winning. Realistically, not McMahon. Flair's never beaten Triple H for the belt.
That's a very good point. They're not going to give Triple H the fucking belt just to have Flair win it. But like you said, if they made this match for the belt and Triple H wasn't the champion, we would still think that Triple H is winning, but at least there'd be a chance.
And also, they point out this is going to be the main event. Bullshit. It's not the main event. It's fucking mid-card say. Main event at the first hour, maybe, but yeah, I think that's maybe not perfect. I'd rather a tournament, to be honest, but why not just have the match for the belt? You've got the feuds. I mean, Flair's at 16 times. Triple H is the number one contender. Boom. We have a decent chance that Flair might win it, and Triple H realistically will win it, rather than he's got no chance. Sucks, in my opinion. But we go backstage, and we get a promo between Bubba Ray, and this felt like Bubba Ray of a few months ago when they were kind of pushing him as like the third or second best face on the roster. Good promo for Bubba Ray here, calling out Triple H, getting handed the belt, and you feel like there's a lot of hostility backstage towards Triple H now. And I like this for Bubba Ray.
Well, not for Johnny the Bull and Steven Richards. They congratulated Triple H.
Yeah, I know, but from there.
Although Triple H probably didn't fucking know who Johnny the Bull was.
He thought
bullshit.
Stagehands. Yeah, why is Stevie Richards no complaining? What about me?
That's Raven, mate.
Yeah, I know. What is it? Raven was on Heat. Raven lost to fucking who'd Raven lose against on Heat? Spike Dudley. Oh.
I think Raven should have come out when Bischoff made the match and said, "What about me? What about Raven?" And then Bischoff makes a triple threat.
Whips out his own belly, his bin bag. Come on, man. But yeah, Bubba Ray excuses himself and says he has to put someone through a table. Down.
It's a bit weird that Bubba Ray goes from standing up to Triple H to walking by Triple H to take on Christopher Nowinski and Molly Holly.
Yep.
Bit of a downgrade.
First ever intergenders tables match. And you know what? This was a fun match. No complaints about it. I say a couple of decent table spots. It was the one main table spot. Powerbomb right through each other. Good night.
There was 2 table spots, but Nowinski put himself through the first table, so normally that doesn't count by WWE logic, but for some reason it counted tonight. Not sure why. But he went for a move off the top rope and he just got pushed through it by Bubba Ray. So Bubba Ray, I guess, well, he didn't know he got distracted. He jumped off. At the end of the day, he jumped off, right? Bubba kind of did distract him, but he jumped off. Bubba didn't push him, so therefore he went through the table on his own merit. I don't think this should have counted as an elimination. He was trying to jump through Trish Stratus on the table, but she moved it the way and he went through the table. And then Bubba followed up with a slam on Molly Holly through the table inside the ring to complete the match. But no, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was good.
We also had King on commentary asking JR, what's a hymen? And JR just does not want to answer him that on national television. But obviously King knows because he's a nonce and knows all that good stuff. But with Jonathan Coachman and Lance Storm, Christian and Tess backstage, they're going to finish what they started last week by burning Old Glory. Are they going to get away with it? We're not the bad guys. We didn't fear Iraq. Who knows what's going to happen? We then have Bischoff backstage with Stacey Keebler and Terry said they're going to have the first ever lingerie pillow fight match tonight. And that's 2 first evers tonight.
2 first evers. Eric Bischoff making a lot of first evers. First time someone's also been handed the title belt too, so
that's very true.
That as well.
And Ric Flair and Jericho are backstage. Jericho complains about why is he not getting the first title shot. Then Flair's like, I made you tap out, kid. And who taps it to the figure 4? What's Jericho's point here? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's not got much of a point. Once you tap it to the figure 4, your career's done.
I just feel like Jericho's going nowhere. I mean, I know he was in the main event tonight, and he performed in what was he doing last week? Singing fucking New York? New York, New York. Willie Regal against Booker T up next. And we can talk about people who's lost all their heat. What about Booker T? I don't give a shit if he won the match. He just feels like a fucking joke now. He wins this match and he's like, oh, you all know what you came here to see, and then does a spinner-rooney.
Who really came here to see a spinner-rooney? Who the fuck paid a ticket to see a spinner-rooney?
No, I think they fucking butchered Booker T. The Goldust stuff's funny, right? But if we're talking about a guy that could have been in this world title tournament and actually pushed, well, why is he doing this? Why is he not involved in the main event?
Goldust stuff hasn't been that funny the past month.
No, it hasn't been, but yeah, I don't know where Goldust was tonight. Is Goldust injured? Who knows? But
he's on Sunday Night Heat.
He's on Sunday Night Heat. But for me, I think Booker T's got to drop the Goldust stuff.
Well, he dropped them tonight, and what happened?
True, but I think he's got to drop the spinner-rooney and the fucking Goldust stuff. And see when Triple H said people like you don't get to become world champion, did he mean because he's black, or did he mean fucking jobbers who do the spinner-rooney? What do you think he meant?
Don't know, Taker didn't do a spinner-rooney and he was a champion, so I might tell you I need to know.
Maybe he's on to something. Up next though, we've got the Heartbreak Kid. We've got an interview here. He's sitting in a wheelchair, but he quickly points out, he says here, I've still got some feeling in my legs, but I'm having to go through physical therapy. And you know what? I really enjoyed the promo package for this. Did you not?
That was great.
It really, I mean, this is what wrestling's all about. This right here, man. The build up. It's he back in the day. See, we seen this and went, fuck, I need to buy SummerSlam on DVD. I need to buy the rerun.
I can't believe I missed that. I need to see what happened there. That match looks great.
I don't know what it is, but seeing you watch wrestling now, there's like almost like zero fucking recap on Raw and SmackDown. It's almost like the pay-per-views are irrelevant.
Probably that's shit. They don't want to show you what happened.
No, but that's
let's just pretend payback happened because it was that garbage.
Yeah,
let's
just have record-breaking title reigns that no one cares about and pretend that's the fucking story. I mean, Gun for guys. By the way, if he beats Chad Gable tonight, he's beating Honky Tonk Man's
Fuck,
record.
I'm gonna have to stay up and watch Raw now.
What's that all about? That is fucking sick. Law then asked Shawn, was it worth it?
Gunfer fucking sucks. 10 reasons why that big boring bastard sucks. Coming soon.
No rush. But Lawler asked Shawn, was it worth it? Was it worth it? And he's like, you know what? I rewatched it and I decided after the fans' reaction that it was worth it, damn it. Then Michaels, he grabs a sledgehammer and says, don't hunt what you can't kill. So yeah, Shawn Michaels, is he going to be coming back very soon?
Looks like it. As soon as he gets real feeling back, as soon as he gets 100% control of his body, he's coming after Triple H, and he's not coming alone. Got the sledgehammer, baby.
And then the funny thing about this is, as soon as this ends, Triple H just leaves the locker room fucking smirking.
Almost like he didn't see it.
Yeah, but...
No, he might have seen it, who knows? Commercial break. Maybe it happened.
No, well, he could have seen it. He's like, I put him in a fucking wheelchair like I promised. He's not taking the threat serious for a guy that's legs barely work.
Well, Triple H keeps his promises.
He does keep his promises. But up next, right, in complete mid-card mediocrity, we've got Triple H against Flair for the belt in this match.
True, but this is a good time of the night, to be honest. This is the top of the hour.
True, but they said
But it's
main
not
event.
the main event. Like.
They said main event earlier, though.
True, but if you can't open the show and if you can't main event the show, then this is probably your third best position.
No, it probably is, but for me, this
and
match...
funny enough, Triple H and Flair's got all 3 spots, so...
Yeah, but
Seems like they're running the fucking show already.
Yeah, but see, for me, this match was pretty slow. I don't know what I'm expecting for Flair, but this match didn't do it for me.
I think for Ric Flair to get... I think he needs an angle or a Michaels.
No, it's... Yeah.
No disrespect to Triple H, but I don't think Triple H is good enough to...
Like, you've just roll-ups, counters into figure fours, and it just looks so sloppy.
I don't think... Triple H and Ric Flair might wrestle each other a few times from this point onwards. I don't think they're ever going to have a great match.
I remember their steel cage match. It was alright.
I think Ric Flair needs a Shawn Michaels to have a great match. That's my opinion. I stick to it.
Yeah, I mean, because even his match against Jericho was just a bit bland. I mean, Triple H hits the low blow when the refs out the ring, and then 1, 2, 3 after the pedigree. He wins, he retains the title. Jericho jumps in, hits the walls of Jericho, then Van Damme runs down, makes a save.
Well, there was an awkward spot where Ric Flair was going for his... You didn't see it, but there was an awkward spot where he was going for his shin breaker, where he lifts him up and drops him out, and he just couldn't lift Triple H up. He tried 3 or 4 times, and it was fucking awkward as fuck.
That's bad.
And they're trying to make out as if, oh, look, Triple H is doing his best to stop him from doing the move, but nah, it was Ric Flair just couldn't lift him up, so... Which is, I mean, it's no disrespect. I mean, Triple H's a big guy, like.
It's no real surprise to me though that he can't lift him.
Triple H's a big guy, but I mean, I just look at this period. Ric Flair. People, well, why do you bash Ric Flair? I thought his return was good. I think Ric Flair gets better than what he's doing right. I would actually argue Ric Flair in his last 6 months before he retires is better than the Ric Flair we have now.
Easily.
And Ric Flair, I don't know when he exactly turns it around, but Ric Flair spoke about how before he got with Triple H, he was terrible. He'd lost all confidence in himself, and you could tell.
And Triple H brought it back.
He's not wrestling like a guy that's had 16 world titles.
No.
See Flair, see if you didn't know anything about wrestling, you would think that, look at this old man, he needs to give it up. Yeah, I mean, I'm not being disrespectful, but if you're watching Ric Flair, if you didn't know who Ric Flair was, therefore you didn't have any... You would just think, if you put wrestling on for the first time tonight, I think one of the things you'd point out is, yeah, that guy that was wrestling Triple H doesn't look like he belongs in the ring. He looks way too old for this shit.
Yeah, absolutely. The match was just... And
obviously because he's Ric Flair, you respect him because he's a legend, but if you take all that aside, he looks so out of his depth at the moment.
Probably why he didn't get tagged in the main event.
Yeah, the main event, he was essentially a cheerleader, but here, we'll talk more about that when we get there.
Cheerleader. Anyway, we got backstage. Well, it's the big show. I thought this guy was moving to SmackDown. Sadly, not yet. He basically says... Eric says to him, you need to calm down and trust me, while he was like wiping Big Show's fucking spit off his face.
Big Show says that if anyone should be handed the World Heavyweight Championship, it should be him. Why? Because I'm 7'2", 500 pounds. See if I need to hear that. The only thing he didn't say that would have made me probably turn the TV off was, TV doesn't do me justice. I mean, see if he said that.
See, they just make Big Show even pisser, right? There's a vid recently where he was testing, he was having a taste of Iron Brew for the first time.
He said Iron Brew is stinking. What a fucking one of the best drinks out there. Although, to be fair, he kept drinking it. So
I know, he's like, it's that bad, I've got to keep drinking. Fuck off. Who says that?
Vanilla vomit. I'm like, what the fuck's this guy drinking?
I know, what the vanilla?
But then he said it's better than root beer, which is the American drink, so...
Come on, man. What's he doing? Who knows? Big Show leaves. He's going to fight Tommy Dreamer, and guess what?
I'm not surprised someone like Big Show is shit taste, though.
See, once Bischoff puts you in a match against Tommy Dreamer, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do.
A funny thing is, a guy that I worked with actually served Big Show in a hotel once.
And he lifted up 4 cans and, like, nothing.
Fuck, have I told this story before?
Yes, you've told this fucking story before.
Big Show, 4 Coke cans in his hand like it was nothing.
That's mad, isn't it? But, yeah, Tommy Dreamer is going to be taking on Big Show. Can Big Show defeat him and become number 1 contender? It proves itself to him, I guess. Who knows what's going to happen. But Bischoff receives a phone call, and a family member from Raw will be joining his fellow family member on SmackDown. And it's like, right, is it going to be Kane? King and JR mentioned this in the next match when he was coming down the ring, take on the Un-Americans. Is it going to be Jeff? Is it going to be... Who else? Spike Dudley? No one thought of who it would be, but we won't spoil it just yet. But we have the Un-Americans.
Well, to be fair, I literally did say it would be him.
Aye, when he was in the ring. That's different. Didn't think of him before then. He's on fucking heat the whole time.
Well, I didn't know he was going to be on Raw, did I? I thought he was dead at this point.
Oh, fuck, he is close to being dead, isn't he?
Exactly, so I didn't think he was going to move to SmackDown.
Maybe he dies before he gets to SmackDown.
I don't ever recall Crash Holly on SmackDown in 2002.
Fair enough. But yeah, with the Un-Americans against Kane... Kane wins. I actually thought Kane was going to get beat here when Christian hit him off the ropes, but fair play, he wins. And then, like, Test runs down. It's 3-on-1. He tries to light the flag on fire. The crowd go ballistic. I have no idea who's coming out, and it's fucking Bradshaw. Like, what's he doing?
I thought the match was pretty good, to be honest, but...
No, the match was, but I feel like Kane... That's just another guy. It's like, could he not be in the world title picture?
True, but at the same time, like, if there people lose the world title picture, then that's basically... If they have a bunch of people lose in a tournament, that's them already lost. They want people for Triple H to take on him being unbeaten.
Yeah, but it's teaming up with Bradshaw against the Un-Americans, the pinnacle, like.
No, but, like, the way I'd see it, let's say they have an 8-man tournament and Triple H wins it. But when Triple H goes on his reign of terror, there's 7 guys that have already lost the tournament for the title.
I'm not saying Triple H needs to win the belt. Why couldn't Kane come back and win the belt?
He's not married to Stephanie McMahon. Moving on.
Fair enough. And he's also a Republican. Anyway, Tommy Dreamer against it's the Big Show. And you know what?
Oh, I'm sure McMahon held that against him. Fuck.
No.
What's that, Kane? You like Donald Trump? You're fired.
Maybe not, they would. Certain companies. Anyway, right. Dreamer.
McMahon going to fire his own fucking wife?
Dreamer against the Big Show.
Might cheat on her like something.
He might. Right, anyway, Big Show Dreamer. Dreamer's kicking out everything. Now he just has enough, grabs a chair and fucking kills him.
How bad is it, Big Show? Couldn't he beat Tommy Dreamer? Like,
He did by DQ though.
Yeah, I know, but
where was this Tommy Dreamer in 2006 when Big Show was fucking dominating ECW?
This is the first time I've seen, you know that spot in the chair? You know that spot in the game where like, you get, like, in the wrestling games where it just shows you someone with a chair, like a wee cutscene, and it just shows you them wailing on someone who's actually laying on their back? This is the first time I've ever seen that happen in person.
Yeah, well, you weren't there, like, but I understand.
No, but you know what I mean? That's the first time I've seen people do it in real life. So maybe they took that spot for Tommy Dreamer beating up Big Show in the game.
I'll tell you. I know he used a weapon here, but where is Big Show going? Getting how the fuck is this guy dethroning Brock Lesnar? He just get battered by Tommy Dreamer. I don't care if it was a DQ, man. Triple H, Austin, The Rock are not getting beat up by Brock. Brock is not getting beat up by Tommy Dreamer here.
Plus, Big Show is the one that brought weapons into play, so it's like not all. It's almost like you don't hold it against Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah. Honestly,
he was the one smashing Dreamer into steel steps, and he was the one that brought the chair, like I said, into action. So
yeah, and the funny thing about this is Bischoff said he'd keep a close eye on this match, and then it cuts them backstage, nowhere near a monitor.
Yeah, and he's not happy though. So I don't know if he's watched it or if he.
I think he's still pissed off about who could be going to SmackDown. I don't give a fuck about the Big Show.
Big Show, you better impress me.
Big Show, do you have a family member on SmackDown?
Doesn't even fucking watch the match.
Pray to God he's got a family member. Triple H then steps out.
I think Bischoff at this point would probably pay for Big Show's taxi to SmackDown.
Yeah, be a fucking
hefty fare, like, wouldn't it?
Articulated lorry, fuck's sake. Getting that fat cunt to SmackDown. But anyway, we've got Triple H demands a match with Van Damme. I want his ass on the line, Eric. Then we see Jericho like just sneak out the fucking door.
Oh, so was Jericho listening to this the entire? It just I don't think this came across good. The way Jericho just
Yeah, and like
it's almost like Jericho's hiding in the locker room waiting for his moment to commit.
Jericho's been demoted an IC title shot just to team up with Triple H, and like you just see him and Triple H looking at each other at the end of the segment. He should be fucking more annoyed than that. I'm sorry, like what? Like I know he did voice a bit of it, but
wait, was he getting an IC title shot?
yeah, it was supposed to be him against Van Dam for the belt.
I thought it was
and Bischoff's fucking hoovered it off him, and he just looks at Triple H's nose and went, "That's a pretty big cannon."
Well, to be fair, Triple H did seem the happier of the two.
Yeah, I know, but you never really got the vibe after Bischoff left that Jericho was like fuming. He was just like, "Oh well, I'll team up. Well, I'll just hide in his canopy fucking nose."
Triple H probably maybe Jericho thought I've got a better chance of winning teaming up with the game.
Maybe no belts on the line, no. But we've got Jeff Hardy against Crash Holly, and as soon as this match, these two are in the ring, you just knew something was going to happen here.
Yeah, why the fuck is Jeff taking on Crash in Raw 2002?
Come on, man.
Seems more like Sunday night. I mean, talk about another guy that's lost momentum, Jeff Hardy. I don't know what's happened to Raw. I'm not saying it's a bad show or it's went horrible, but it's a lot of people have lost momentum. Bubba Ray doesn't really seem over like he was, and Bradshaw doesn't seem over like Bradshaw,
Booker T,
Jeff. Jeff Hardy had that match with Taker, and you thought after that getting pushed to the moon, but then a couple of losses to RVD, and it quickly went backwards for him. Bradshaw got a big win over Scott Hall, and then he just got jobbed out. And
even The Rock was losing fucking tag matches every week.
He was losing to Johnny the Bull, and then I don't know, you have Bubba Ray and Booker T now. Just a guy that doesn't really matter if he wins or loses as long as he does the spinner, isn't he?
Yeah, and Bischoff comes out, buries Jeff. He's like, I know you want revenge on Matt, but you could at least told me, face to face. How about a little notice? Maybe 3 minutes. What I didn't like about this, so he's saying 3 minutes is like these two are fucking battering Jeff. Could they not have timed it a bit better?
I've noticed the timing's been off with 3 minute warning. I think...
Like Bischoff's mid-promo and Jeff's dead.
Yeah, like, see when it says 3 minutes, they should just be making their way to the ringside area. But they almost seem to be already in the ring before Bischoff can say 3 minutes.
Yeah. No, what I would say, it's probably the best beatdown I've seen. The move they did where they just picked them up and flung them face first on the ground was pretty mental.
Yeah, I tell you what, the beatdown against Big Show was fucking horrendous. Yeah. But I will say it was against Big Show and maybe...
Yeah.
But
then Crash Holly grabs the mic for the first time, what feels like about 2 years, and says, I'm the guy that's moving to SmackDown. And then Eric Bischoff's realised, oh fuck, I've punished Jeff Hardy here for no reason. Or maybe he failed a drug test, who knows?
Is this the last we'll see of Jeff Hardy? It very well could be.
He's in the 2003 Rumble.
Alright, then it very well
he's against Jericho at No Way Out 2003.
Okay, it absolutely won't be.
I know that, but it could be for a while.
But I don't know. Actually, he does appear Survivor Series.
I think that's when he returns, though. Maybe this is the end of him.
3 months. Oh.
90 day, buddy.
Would that take him up to Survivor Series? May?
August to November?
September? Aye.
No,
end of November. Mate, anyway, who cares?
Maybe it's only a 60 day back in the day, I don't know.
Up next, we've got the lingerie pillow fight now. On Online World of Wrestling, there's an editor's note saying, I can't believe this is on TV. Now, I don't know if he means this, I can't believe they were brave enough to do this shit, or I don't know if he means that this was shambolic and degrading and shouldn't be on TV. But this was funny, man. This was one of the best things of the night. And
it's car crash TV.
It's a fucking mess, but it's a good mess.
And you know what? Jerry Lawler makes this. Say, even if he was on commentary, if he wasn't in the ring, this would have just seemed like the most awkward fucking match I've ever seen. But King makes it.
I reckon Jerry Lawler should do more matches on commentary in the ring, especially with the women.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a spot where Stacey's going for a power bomb, and Jerry Lawler's literally dropping on his back to look up her fucking dress. And then Terry's got the pin, and you just see her ass cheeks there, and everything was a fucking mess.
Like, Stacey's looking for the tar, right? She checks 3 corners of the ring, apart from the corner where it actually was, but then she uses it after the match. So was she supposed to use it during the match?
I don't know. She put this clock inside the pillow, ends up hitting Terry with it after Terry gets the win. Then she gets the tar and pours it over Terry and gets like feathers from a pillow and pours the feathers over Terry, and Terry's, I guess, looking like a chicken at this point. Then she leaves, and Jerry the King Lawler is wiping. He's literally molesting Terry here. He's literally got his hands all over Terry's boobs, and then JR's making comments about how, oh, Jerry Lawler's such a stand-up guy, helping getting Terry all that stuff off her chest, and I don't know, it's just funny to me.
That was a pretty funny line there for JR, and you know what? This will feature high in the top 5 moments.
Good. No, Jerry Lawler's fantastic, man. Just he felt like the guy was literally going to have a stroke on commentary.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There's a weird spot before the match as well where Stacey's getting Jerry Lawler to lay down on the bed with his legs spread open. I don't quite understand what was happening there, but whatever.
Yeah, it's almost, was Terry too late for the spot to hit her down on him, or I don't know. I don't understand it, but you know what? Car crash, brilliant. It had an aura like Vince Russo about it, but
it's been a really,
yeah, like car crash. It wasn't like a traditional bra and panties match. Maybe King added to that, like, but it was a clusterfuck, but I enjoyed it.
I don't know. Vince Russo says he tries to stay away from this shit.
Does he?
Alright.
I got Finny Roo all wrong. But anyway, I got main event time. Triple H and Jericho against Van Dam and Ric Flair. Van Dam does all the work. What was the point of Ric Flair even being out here? All he did was come in and fucking hit chops. Like, as if Earl Hebner had his own set of rules for Flair. Just let him do what he wants.
Well, he did start a couple of RVD chants as well with the crowd.
RVD, woo! RV, woo! R, woo! V, woo! D, woo! Brilliant for Rob Van Dam. You know what? Rob Van Dam is like the only guy on Raw recently that's actually been booked strong.
Yeah, RVD feels like the only guy that could challenge Triple H for the belt, and it looks like that's what we might be getting next.
That is the match we do get at Unforgiven, but you know what? Jericho again, just looking. I mean, it's weird. Like, Van Dam essentially beats them both up 2-on-1, then Flair just takes Jericho to the outside, hits a figure 4, and Jericho's fucking tapping away.
And in the ring, Triple H got the belt. RVD kicks the belt up into Triple H's face, hits a perfect 5-star frog splash, and gets the win. RVD's pinned the Raw World Champion, and then RVD celebrates with both titles after the match. Bit strange that I don't think that's a good look for Triple H. He gets awarded the title without having to win it, and then he gets beat in the middle of the ring in the main event.
I could have bet money that Flair or Jericho were going to get pinned here, but I thought because Flair already got beat earlier, it was going to be 99% Jericho. Yeah. But that's how it ended, guys. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. It was alright. Was it worse than last week's Raw? I think?
I'll give it a 7. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought there was a lot of good matches tonight. Didn't really like the opening segment. I just think they could have done that so much fucking better. I think Triple H should have been angry that he's the number 1 contender and there's no world title, and he could have been threatening Bischoff, do something about it, or I'm heading to SmackDown. And then Bischoff could have maybe been making phone calls, oh fuck, what am I going to do? You know, with no world title, I can't have Triple H walking out, this and that. So the opening segment did let me down a lot, but I mean, everything after that I thought was good. I enjoyed the Triple H Bubba Ray thing. The mixed tag team table match was good. I enjoyed the Shawn Michaels sit down, and I thought some of the matches were fun. The Brian Panties thing was really good, and then I enjoyed the main event too. So yeah, for me, I'll get a 7 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 6, so it's a 6.5 out of 10. We'll be back very soon for SmackDown. Who knows how that's going to go, guys, because SmackDown recently has been dropping the ball left, right, and centre. But can the big dog, the original big dog, The Undertaker, can he pick it up after last week's, you know what? I'll say Smack put on an epic triple threat match, but stay tuned for that. It's top 5 moments in between as well. And a good old ECW 2007. We cannot miss a bit of that. Maybe John Morrison and The Miz can rival King on commentary. Maybe those two can.
How about no?
How about no, guys? 6.5. Peace.